Today we'll be looking at some special case of mathematical expectation. And I call this special case because of this constant k, because we are going to be introducing some special properties or probability in order for us to obtain a constant k. So we have a question on the board, as you can see, and the question is strictly talking about the discrete random variable. So whatever thing we are going to be doing here is going to be based on summation, because anything discrete has to do with summation, and anything continuous from my last lecture has to do with the integration. Okay, so let's look at this quickly. We have to find the value of k first, and for us to get the value of k, there is a special property of probability we are going to be using, which is given as summation of p of x, as x ranges from 0 to n is always equals to 1. Yeah. It's telling you that the sum of all probabilities is always equals to 1, which means that from our table now, this is our probability values. Okay, when you add everything together here, you are going to have everything to be equals to 1. Let's do that now. So we have 0 plus 0 plus k plus 2k plus 2k plus 3k plus k squared plus 2k squared plus 7k squared plus k. Okay, everything will be equals to y from this property. So from here now, when you add everything together, all those that have k, bring them together. So you have k plus 2k plus another 2k plus 3k plus I think k here, and then plus your k squared now plus your 2k squared plus 7k squared. Everything is equals to 1. Then when you sum up all the k values or all the k terms together, you're going to have 3k plus 2k, you have 5k plus 3k, you have 8k plus 1k, that is 9k. And then all the k squared terms, you also add them together. So k squared plus 2k squared is going to give you 3k squared plus 7k squared, you have plus 10k squared. Everything is equals to 1. You can write this as 10k squared plus 9k minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, and then this becomes a standard quadratic equation which you are going to be solving quadratically. Okay, now, of course, there are various methods in which you can solve a quadratic equation, but I will move by using the factorization method in this particular problem. So all you need to do is to look at the middle term, which is the 9k, and then look for two numbers in such a way that when you add them together, it gives you 9k, and when you multiply those same numbers together, it gives you negative 10. And those numbers are, I think, 10k minus k. Yeah. Because if you add 10k and minus k together, it's going to give you 9k. And of course, if you multiply them together, it will give you negative 10k squared. So you replace this 9k with those two factors. And then you have this thing to be 10k squared. Okay, instead of 9k, you have plus 10k minus k. And then minus 1 is equals to 0. So you group the first two terms and the last two terms. Okay, and then you look at what is common here. And that is a 10k, open bracket. If 10k go into this 10k square, you have ordinary k plus. And then 10k divided by 10k, you have just positive 1. Okay, and then you have negative. You have negative. Of course, 1 is common here. And then when you divide, you have k, of course, minus divided by minus will give you plus 1 here, and then equals to 0. And of course, these two are shouting factors, so you pick 1, k plus 1, and then these two outside, you group them together, which is 10k minus 1 is equals to 0. And then from here, it means that k plus 1 is equals to 0, or 10k minus 1 is equals to 0. Okay, which means k is equals to negative 1, or k here is equals to 1 over 10. And then of course, in probability, you don't really consider, the negative value. So we only look at the positive value of k. So, this table, I will need this table. Okay, now we have been able to get k. So you can now say therefore k equals 1 over 10. Okay, that is the first question they ask us to do. And then secondly, we have to look for E of x, which is the expected value of x. And then for us to do that, your E of x, told you before now that is always equals to summation of x, P of x. That's the formula for calculating E of x when it comes to mathematical expectation. Don't forget, x ranges from 0 this time around to 7. Okay, so now, you start now. So E of x now, we now give us, of course, if you look at the table I gave to you, the x values ranges from 0 to 7. So you start from 0, which is x, and then you multiply it by P of x that corresponds to that, and that is 0. Plus, the next value after 0 is negative 1. Sorry, I think it ranges from negative 1 to 7, rather. So you have negative 1 times 0 plus 0 times 0 plus, after 0 you have 1 times, probability of that is k, and then plus 2 times, the probability that corresponds is 2k, plus, I think 2, again, is it 2, sorry, 3 this time around, times 3 times, after k, after 2k we have another 2k, plus 4 times, I think 3k now, and then plus 5 times, plus 5 times, after 3k I think we have k squared, plus 6 times 2k squared, plus 7 times 7k squared plus k. Okay, and then this gives us, of course, this time this is 0, this time this is also 0. So 1 times k, you have k here, plus 2 times 2k is 4k, plus 6k, plus 4, that's 12k, plus this times this, that's 5k squared, plus 12k squared here. And then plus, this 7 is going to multiply this 2, don't forget that, which gives you 49, you can do it like this, which gives you 49k squared plus 7 times k, that is 7k. So when you add all the k together, now this gives you 5k, plus this, that's 11k, plus this now, that is 33k, okay, you have 33k, plus 7k, now that's 40k, and then all the k squared, 5k squared plus 12k squared is 17k squared plus 49. So we have 17 plus 49 here, 6, 5, 6, that is 66. That we have plus 66k squared there. Don't forget your k is 1 over 10. So you have 40 times 1 over 10 here, plus 66 times 1 over 10 all in squared, like this. Okay? And then when you do this, 0 cancels 0 here. So you have 4 plus, of course, here now you have 66 divided by, when you square 1, it's still 1. And when you square 10, you have 100 this way. Which gives you 4 plus, of course, 60 divided by 100, that should give us, I think 0.66. Yeah, 0.66. So when you add it together now, you have 4.66. Wow. So we have been able to obtain the mean. So I think I'm going to stop here in this particular video. In our next video, I'm going to show you how to obtain the variance and the other problems that follows. Thank you.